to be able to represent my country and put on the jersey, just a huge honor. Get to represent family, friends, and obviously the whole country. So it's a really special feeling.
It is here. The World Junior A Challenge got underway last weekend in Whitby and Coburg. We'll have more on that in just a moment. This is the OJ Today. Hey folks, I'm Alex Bastiavansky. On today's program, Matt Carroll, head coach of the Pickering Panthers, will chat with me regarding his team's performance so far. Also, we'll have a feature story on Oakville's Christian Rajic, one of the OJ's top scorers this year. But first, as mentioned, after months of planning and anticipation, the World Junior A Challenge kicked off last weekend. The top Junior A players from around the world have descended on Whitby and Coburg. Team Canada East features 11 players from the OJHL, and the squad kicked off its tournament against Switzerland last Sunday. The atmosphere was electric in Whitby for Canada East's first game. Lucky players from Whitby minor hockey taking part in the pre-game ceremonies before puck drop. Canada versus Switzerland. Most of these players pulling on a Canadian jersey for the first time as a player. Orangeville's Derek Topadic introduces the Swiss to hockey Canadian style by laying out Stefan Rugsager early on. But it's Switzerland drawing first blood. Simon Luc Couture with a shot that sneaks its way through the pads of Colton Point, and the East goes down 1-0. Canada cranked it up in the second frame, though. Georgetown's Josh Dickinson with the original shot. He follows it up and somehow gets it to go past Philip Rutrich. Canada on the board. It's tied 1-1. Just 40 seconds later, a scramble out front here. Lucas Batt wraps it home, and the boys in red go in front. It's 2-1 Canada, and you know they were feeding off the home crowd's energy right there. Then it's Grant Cooper picking off an errant Swiss pass, and he shows off the super soft hands, picking the corner. Canada East cushions its lead, now up 3-1. They outshot the Swiss 12-3 in the second, actually. They made it 4-1, and then Wellington's Luke Brown. How many times have we seen him do that this year? The quick shot that surprises Rutrich. Canadians on fire. They lead 5-1. In the third, the Swiss made it 5-2 before another Duke, Ben Soke, wraps home the rebound here. OJ players coming up huge in this game. 3 more goals were scored, but the end result was a big 8-3 win for Canada East. Luke Brown was a monster, 1 goal and 3 assists to pace the Canadians on this night. A fantastic start to the tournament for Canada East, but a stiffer test awaited them the next night. Anytime someone says Canada-Russia in hockey, your heart beats just a little bit faster, and it was time for our two nations to renew their storied rivalry on Monday. And Whitby's Iroquois Center was packed for the much-anticipated matchup, Canada-Russia. It doesn't get much bigger than this. Vladislav Sugachev was huge for the Ruskies in this game. Here, 2 big stops on the Canadians to keep it scoreless early on. Maxim St. Pierre laying the smack down on Ilya Karpuchin. Great open ice hit. No scoring in the first. In the second, Sugachev continued to shine. Here he robs St. Pierre to deny another good Canuck scoring chance. It was a 6-minute span that killed the Canadians. Georgi Ivanov has way too much time and space here. He roofs it past Orangeville's Nicholas Latinovich, and it's 1-0 Russia. Just a minute and a half later, Vladislav Svevchenko feeds a Russian with a really, really long last name that I'm not even going to attempt, and it was 2-0 for our longtime rivals. Soon after, you can't fault Latinovich for any of these goals, really. Here he sacrifices life and limb, but ultimately Mikhail Maltsev pops it home. 3-0 for the Big Red Machine. In the third frame, Canada got physical. Oakville's Tyler Rollo lays out his Russian counterpart with a huge open ice hit right there, and then Canada gets one back. And Newmarket's Adam Smith from the point, that made it 3-1. Alas, the Russians would pot 2 empty netters on their way to a deceptive 6-1 victory. The East actually outshot Russia 29-23. The score really didn't tell the whole story. Wellington's Ben Soke felt it was a game his squad really should have won.
Oh yeah, 100%. We completely outplayed them. We just need to bury our chances and be a little more responsible defensively. But other than that, yeah, I think we should have won that game too.
So, Canada East faced the Czech Republic in a quarterfinal game Wednesday evening in Whitby. A bizarre miscue leads to the Czechs getting the first goal. Latinovic and his defender get their wires crossed. Yuri Karafia takes full advantage. The Czechs go up 1-0. Second period, the boys bounce back. The puck bounces out front for Lucas Bat, who buries it, and we're all knotted up at 1 apiece. The third period was the Tyler Rollo show. The Oakville Blade Star puts the Canucks ahead at the 10-16 mark, and then takes a teammate's stick in the face in the aftermath. Ouch. He'd be okay, though. Here's the evidence. 3 minutes later, Rollo, boom, makes it 3-1, and that ended up being the game winner for Canada East. Rollo playing hero. The Czechs added one more, but it wasn't enough. So, it's Canada East versus Canada West in one semifinal Thursday evening. Russia versus the Americans in the other game. We'll have all the Canada East highlights for you on next week's show. What we know is the bronze medal game for the semifinal losers will be at 7 p.m. Friday in Whitby. The fifth place game between the Czechs and the Swiss is at 7 that same night in Coburg. And the big one, the gold medal match, is Saturday, 4 p.m. at the Coburg Community Center. Whether it's Canada East or Canada West involved, get down there to cheer on Canada. And for the full schedule as well as how the teams finished up, head to hockeycanada.ca. Welcome back. Well, after a somewhat sluggish start to the year, the St. Mike's Buzzers have been firing on all cylinders lately. Heading into last Saturday's matchup with Georgetown, the Buzzers had reeled off 5 straight victories. One of its victims had been the Raiders just the night before. So G-Town had revenge on its mind. The Buzzers had dropped Georgetown 4-3 the night before, so they hadn't lost since November 26th. Good start for the Raiders, though. A bit of puck luck, actually, as Jordan Crocker banks it in off the stick of Mike Pellegrini. And it's 1-0 G-Town. It stayed that way into the second frame where the Buzzers had their chances. Thomas Barretta tests Andrew Masters, but the keeper comes up big to deny the St. Mike's captain. Soon after, Raiders on the power play. Nice puck movement. Jack Jacome manages to knock it past Mark Manilescu. Raiders go up by a deuce. 15:38 in, St. Mike's looking disorganized in its own zone. Georgetown pounces as Anthony Moda sweeps it in 5-hole on Manilescu. G-Town fully in control, up 3-0. St. Mike's comes close to breaking the shutout in the third. Brad Koka from in tight rings it off the bar. So close. Finally, they hit the score sheet with their net empty late in the third. It's Thomas Barretta from the point with the heavy wrister that beats Masters. So there was hope for the Buzzers, but then Masters shuts the door for good just moments later.
That's Maviglio. Again, there's Barretta again, he shoots. It's over. Oh, what a save by Masters.
It's becoming a regular occurrence for Masters. Huge saves like that in the dying seconds. 3-1 Georgetown is your final as they snap the Buzzers' 5-game win streak in the process. Okay, Pickering had snapped Wellington's 8-game win streak the week before, so the Dukes were out for revenge. Just under 2 minutes in, Colin Doyle gets Wellington on the board shorthanded, beating Troy Paquette. 1-0 Dukes. Late in the frame, it's Doyle again as he jumps all over a big rebound and somehow just wills it to go in. Panthers wanted a goalie interference call, but did not get it. Second period now. Olivier Lafreniere comes up big, absolutely stoning Doug Carter on the Panthers' 2-on-1 rush. Huge save by the Dukes puck stopper. Nothing he could do about this one, though.
That's on the tape of Sekelic, who's out speed here. He scores! Chris Sekelic on a backhand pass off the glass.
And midway through the frame, though, Kyler Chalice gets the gate for that hit from behind right there, and the Dukes take advantage right away on the PP as Tyler Burney jumps all over the juicy rebound. Wellington goes up 3-1. The Panthers never let up, though. Sekelic tosses it out front. Doug Carter deposits past Lafreniere, and Pickering pulls to within 1. Crazy sequence here late in the third. Wellington has 2 chances to put the puck in the empty cage, but they miss both times, and that would come back to haunt them moments later.
Duke it out front on his backhand. It rolls in the crease. They center. They score! Kennedy Dugan off the goaltender and in, and the Panthers tie the game with 13 seconds to go.
Yeah, the Cardiac Kids. However, in OT, the Dukes would be the ones to nab the 2 points as Justin Bean risked it past Paquette for the Wellington win. What a game in Pickering, though. After suffering through a 9-game losing streak, the Panthers have been playing much better lately, and there's still hope for the last playoff spot in the Northeast for them. Well, back on November 28th, the Coburg Cougars were flying high. They just pulled off a massive 5-4 win over Georgetown, a game in which they rallied back from a 4-0 deficit. Since then, though, the Cougars have been in a slide. They dropped 3 straight and were looking to get back on track against Orangeville last Saturday. The Flyers were struggling as well heading into this tilt, having lost 6 of their last 7. They opened the scoring, though, 10:41 in. Lucas Smilski threads it to James Ranson, who turns on the Jets, beats Tyler Lewis. 1-0 for Orangeville. In the second frame, madness ensues. 6 goals were scored. First, Matt Gorey tips home the point shot, and the Cougs knotted up at 1 apiece. Less than a minute later on the power play, Jacob Ingham makes the initial stop, but Liam Grand wraps home the second chance. Coburg goes up by 1, but then it's Orangeville on the rush. Jarrett Woon-Sam hits Colin Rigney, and the Flyers tie it up at 2. Back and forth we go. Gorey goes top shelf for his second to make it 3-2 for Coburg, but then Zach Lyons wraps home a rebound off Ryan Barbosa's point shot, and they were all square at 3. They kept coming, did Orangeville. Travis Brown with a nice solo effort. He beats Lewis, and suddenly it's the Flyers on top, 4-3. Coburg notched 1 in the third, so it was off to overtime.
Now Smilski and DiLorenzo coming for the Flyers. Smilski gets it to DiLorenzo, and he scores! John DiLorenzo gets the overtime winner, and how about this?
And the Flyers pull it off in dramatic fashion. 5-4 your final. Smilski had a huge game for the home squad. That assist on the winner was his 3rd of the night. Okay, OJHL trivia for this week, and your question is, how many OJHL players were named to Team Canada East at the 2015 World Junior A Challenge? We've actually mentioned it a few times over the past couple of weeks. How many OJ players on the 2015 World Junior A squad for Team East? You can win an OJHL prize pack. The first person with the correct email to Isaac Westgate, that's iwestgate@theojhl.ca, wins the prize. Okay, a look at the OJ top scorers right now, just the top 5. Rinaldi and Evancho of Buffalo tied with 54 points apiece. Luke Brown from Wellington in 3rd right now with 53 points. Kudla, the defenseman from Oakville, very impressive. He's got 43 points. And Tyson Bruce from Markham, close behind with 42 points so far. Our alumni update for this week. Big week for the Buffalo Junior Sabres alumni. Dennis Gilbert of Notre Dame named Hockey East Player of the Week. Nate Skidmore from SUNY Potsdam named Suniac Rookie of the Week. And Paul Barafado from Holy Cross named Atlantic Hockey Goalie of the Week. Brett Sinclair of Curry College named ECAC Northeast Goalie of the Week. And Trevor Cope from American International was named Atlantic Hockey Rookie of the Week. Welcome back to the OJ Today. Joining me now on Skype, of course, the wonders of technology, is the head coach of the Pickering Panthers, Matt Carroll. Matt, welcome to the show, buddy.
Alex, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're exciting time for you guys. You live right in Whitby. You're going to be heading down to check out the World Junior A Challenge, so I might see you at one of the games tonight. But let's talk about the Panthers first. Coming off, a good weekend. You had a strong game against Wellington. Let's talk about that first. You faced Wellington on Sunday. Came out on the wrong end of it, double OT, but I think a pretty a solid move forward for you guys, holding a team like Wellington to a 1-goal win in overtime.
Yeah, obviously, we showed a lot of character last night. We started the game with a short bench. We went in with 11-5, and throughout the game we had a guy with a foot injury in the first period there, so we didn't come back out for the second. And the second we picked up a hit from behind. Both those guys were defensemen, so we had 3D halfway through the game, and we dropped the forward back, Robert Clark, and we showed a lot of character. It was a good point for us moving forward, right? So we'll take it.
I think they had revenge on their mind because you guys had a huge win over them the previous week, and I believe you ended their 8-game winning streak. So they had motivation for sure for your game. But you know what? You guys are, as it sits right now, 5th in the East, but just 4 points back from that last playoff spot in the Northeast. So let's just talk about for a second Pickering's play so far this year and how you think the team has done.
Yeah, and it's early, but yeah, we're competing. We're looking at those playoff spots, right? And we've got the 2 games in hand, and we got to make sure we let those count. The team this year, at times, a little bit inconsistent, and we're still sometimes trying to find that full 60 minutes, and it's something we've been working towards. And I think we've turned the corner once again. Last time we turned the corner, we didn't get the results we were looking for right away. And we're playing good hockey, but not getting on the board with 2 points. And I think that really set us back a little bit. And we're back to playing the game the right way. So hopefully we continue to do that and we compete every night, which is what we're looking for.
Yeah, so let's talk first about the strengths of this team. What are the strengths of the Panthers in your opinion?
I would have to say our 96 core. We've got a good core of 96s there, both on the back end and front end. And it kind of sets us up for a good competition team this year, but to really take some strides next year and gain some experience this year, hopefully get into the playoffs and gain that playoff experience, and we can move that forward next year and hopefully make some real noise next year is what the plan is here, kind of a 2-year thing with that 96 age group. Right.
And in terms of what do you guys have to work on? I know it's a general question, but you've talked about the strengths. What are some of the things that you've noticed that the team moving forward and going into the last bit of the season here has really got to work on?
Yeah, outside of the finding a full 60 minutes and which, like I said, we are getting there. Some nights it's 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Just on the defensive side of the puck, we got a lot of talent and a lot of skill on our team, and we're going to put the puck in the net. We've just got to continue to commit on the defensive side of the puck and find ways to keep it out of our net. And I think we'll be much more successful.
So far, Chris Sekulik has been far and away your top scorer this year. He's averaging just slightly over a point per game. So talk about Chris and what it is that he brings to the team.
Yeah, Chris, obviously, he's one of those special players within the league, right? Right up there with the rest of the top guys in the league. He's got the size. He's got the shot. His shot's next level. He releases that puck, and half the time it's going in the net, right? He's a big body, likes to use it. He's really physical on the forecheck, and he's really fun to coach because he's got a lot to work on the defensive side. I know I talked about it a little bit here, but in September, we're getting on him to get out of the zone and to back check hard through the neutral zone. And here we are in December, and he's one of our best back checkers right now, and he's much better on the defensive side of the puck. So as a coach, it's a little bit rewarding to see those type of victories. And again, he's a fun guy to coach. And
John Hudgen is second in scoring. What does John bring?
I mean, John's if you could, you'd play him 60 minutes a night, right? He's that guy. He'd block a shot with his face if he had to for the team, and he's one of those leaders out there on the ice that just no matter what, every night he is going. He's that guy within our group. So it's great to have John.
Matt, it's your first year coaching Pickering, but you're actually an alumnus of the OJ back when it was the OPJHL. We're going back 14, 15 years now. You played for Bowmanville, that's right?
Yes.
Back in the day. So, you know what, I asked Brent Hughes the same question from North York. I'm always interested in getting take on this from someone who's played in the league. You come back to the league after all these years. How has the league changed, in your opinion, from when you played in it?
I'd have to say just the overall, like the top end guys, I find the top end guys now, there was maybe 2 or 3 guys before that were going to be on the next level. On any given night, there's 2 defensemen, 3, 4 forwards that can make you pay at any time. And these top end guys, like I said, they make you pay, and they seem to be a lot better than when I played anyways back 15 years ago. The top end seems to be much better.
And you mentioned back in when you were playing, and you were one of them, there were a lot more 16-year-olds, but now they have a lot more time sort of marinate and mature by playing in midget instead of jumping right into junior.
Yeah, and I think that's improved the league as well, right? You're only allowed 2 now, 99s this year. Previously, when I played, we had 5 guys playing that were 16 years old, right? And it would take a guy like myself even out of the league and force him to go play midget and develop the proper way and play the games and get the ice time that they should be getting at that age group.
We're out of time. Thanks so much for being here, buddy. I'm sure I'm going to see you down at the World Junior A Challenge. And really quick, PickeringPanthers.com for more information, correct?
Yes, thanks for having me.
Thanks, buddy. Happy holidays. Take care.
This year, the World Junior A Challenge celebrates 10 years with its first trip to Ontario. Will you be in Coburg and Whitby when the puck drops? From December 13th to 19th, Canada East and Canada West face off with the Czech Republic, Russia, Switzerland, and the United States in the chase for gold. Ticket packages are on sale now, so visit hockeycanada.ca/WJAC today.
Welcome back to the OJ Today. The Oakville Blades are in the midst of another solid season. Currently, they're the front runners in the South Division, and their offense has been incredible. Patrick Kudla, Tyler Rollo, and Josh Kosak have all been lighting it up. Today, though, we take a closer look at one of their high-flying teammates, forward Christian Rajic. The Oakville Blades have had no trouble scoring goals this season. Currently, they've notched 138, good for second overall in the OJHL. Yes, their offense is firing on all cylinders. One of the main threats for the squad has been Christian Rajic. With 35 points in just 25 games, the second-year forward is one of the league's top scorers.
Christian brings a lot of excitement. His offense, when he's on the game, when he's on his game, I mean, he's extremely creative. He competes hard. He plays with an edge, and if given the chance, he can finish. You know, he's growing into himself. He's going to be a complete all-around player. So you know, he's going to be an exciting player to watch this year, and you know, potentially next year.
I try and bring that offensive flair. You know, I try and always, when the puck's on my stick, I'm trying to always create things. So that's the main thing for me, but I'm trying to be more of a complete player. I'm trying to be more reliable in the defensive zone, and then hopefully everything works out itself in the offensive zone.
The 18-year-old Rajic notched 33 points in 49 games as an OJHL rookie last year, but he wasn't satisfied. He set his sights on taking his game to new heights this season. Blades coach Mike Tarantino is impressed with his new attention to the defensive side of the game as well.
I think him being defensively responsible, believe it or not, has put him in better offensive positions. And you know, it's a common thing with guys coming out of minor hockey. You usually take that year to grow, learn a 200-foot game, and you know, you don't maybe expect the year that Christian's had, definitely not. But you know, he's taken advantage of his opportunities, and give the kid credit. He's taken everything that we've tried to do as an organization for him with a grain of salt and applied it to his game. So you know, we're real happy for him.
You know, new season, kind of everyone wants to step it up, but yeah, for me, I had a little chip on my shoulder. I wasn't too happy with how things went last year, so you know, I wanted to definitely elevate my game, and I got the opportunity this year. You know, Coach Tarantino's been doing a great job. All the coaching staff has been putting me in the right position. I think I'm just going to try and keep taking advantage of that and keep going.
Line mate Drew Warad is in his first year with the Blades, and being teamed with Rajic helped his transition to the team.
He's such a smart player, and he's got a lot of grit too. I mean, I love playing with him. I mean, as soon as we started playing together, we had chemistry right away. And you know, he's one of those guys who you can count on in a lot of situations. I mean, if you watch him, he's always given 110. And I mean, lately he's putting the puck in whenever he gets the opportunity. So he's definitely brought a lot so far. He's awesome. I mean, he's a good guy. I love being around him. I mean, when we're not at the rink, I'm usually hanging out with him. And yeah, he's an upbeat guy. He's always smiling. The boys really love him. I know I'm good buddies with him. So.
Rajic has set his sights on getting an NCAA scholarship. While he hasn't committed anywhere yet, it's only a matter of time.
I think if he continues on the path he's on, I think there'll be multiple offers coming. I mean, I've personally talked to a handful of schools about him and guys that are going to have him down on a visit and that are very interested in watching his development. But you know, obviously, if he keeps up this pace, he'll have schools to choose from.
Going into this year, I had high expectations, and right now they're going the way I want them to. So I'm just going to try and keep working hard, and hopefully everything falls into place. But number one is definitely a commitment, and then, you know, just a long, lengthy playoff run with the guys in the room would be unbelievable.
And before we go, the top 5 plays from the last week. Number 5, Georgetown's Andrew Masters in the last minute against St. Mike's gets over just in time to deny Cameron Searles and earn the Raiders 2 big points. Number 4, Team Canada's Josh Kosak absolutely tattoos an unfortunate Russian who will remember to keep his head up from now on. Number 3, the Flyers in double OT against Coburg. Lucas Smilski to John DiLorenzo for the game winner. Smilski with one of his 3 assists on the day. Number 2, Luke Brown of Canada East. We've seen him do this all year for Wellington. The Swiss found out the hard way last Sunday. Gorgeous goal. Brown had 4 points in the game. Number 1, we couldn't fit this in the highlights last week. We had to show it this week, though. Whitby's Jordan White goes Dominic Hasek on the Raiders. Take another look here. White just reaches back and smacks it away out of midair. One of the best saves of the year and our OJ play of the week. And that's all the time we've got for this week. Just remember, though, to head to the league website at ojhl.ca for all the up-to-date news, stats, and standings. On Twitter at OJHLofficial, and of course at facebook.com/OJHLofficial. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I will see you next week.
Go Canada!
Here we go, lad. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.